And the other thing that we're going to see is that this brings in not just buyers, this is a great listing tool also.
It is, Carl. This is going to make such a difference in the lives of
Oh,
realtors.
those that are doing this are seeing huge differences. Now, we can see what the problem is, and you know, this should not be a revelation to anybody, that there are so many houses for sale, so many condos for sale, so much land to buy, and there's signs on every corner. What do you do to set yourself apart?
There has to be something because right now, with all of those out there, you just have to set yourself apart. Otherwise, your house is not going to sell.
Yeah, and the good news here, nobody has to spend a dime what we're going to show you today. So just FYI, as you're looking at this, keep in mind, like we said in the beginning, there's nothing for you to buy here. We're not trying to sell you anything. Put your credit card away. This is a solution that doesn't cost you one penny. You know, with all those signs, it's kind of like playing Where's Waldo? And you know, that was a dirty little trick you did with me on this.
Well, he was not there, really.
Yeah, they're just FYI for everybody. Tammy sent this over to me to put into the slide, and I'm looking for Waldo. There is no Waldo in here, by the way, so that was kind of a dirty trick. But that's what it is. I mean, you have to figure out some way to make yourself stand out, something that sets your listing apart. So A, you can advertise it to sellers as a listing tool, and B, if you're standing apart, there are people buying homes. You just need to make sure that they're buying yours.
Right, because for so many years now, the housing market was great. But right now we're seeing it where you have to, there are so many houses on the market, you have to stand out and you have to do something different.
You know, I heard somebody say the other day, nobody's buying houses. That's absolutely not the case. They're just not buying that person's house. They are buying houses, just not as many as they were. So again, you have to be able to stand out. So again, it doesn't take a brain scientist to identify the problem.
Every single house has this sign on it.
Yeah, this is not the solution. I can tell you right now that if you think that a price reduced sign is going to make a difference to selling your home, if this is your marketing plan, you know, you're going to think nobody's buying a house, they're just not buying yours. And again, Tammy, you know, we were seeing these signs, you know, I'm beautiful inside, price reduced, honey, stop the car.
But all these signs are a dime a dozen and everybody's using them.
That's exactly right. This one in particular, you know, anytime I see a price reduced, I mean, the first thought that goes through my head is you were priced too high to begin with. So, you know, the sad truth is, guys, a price reduced sign really doesn't do that. You know, I don't think it does any good whatsoever. And again, they're everywhere, so you have to be able to set yourself apart again. Now, this is a sign writer that will make a difference. Now, we want to make it real clear here, Tammy, that we're not in the sign writer business.
We don't sell signs.
We don't sell signs.
So go and find a company that makes signs for you. It's the wording that's on this sign that's special.
Yeah, in fact, we saw somebody, one of our referral partners is using this, and they actually went and got the little cheap corrugated signs that you got at Home Depot and hand wrote this.
On a yellow sign. And one of the big differences is that this sign is yellow. And there has been a marketing study that shows that yellow signs with black writing pull the best.
No question about it. So it's not this particular one just happens to be on Century 21, and we're not affiliated with Century 21. Great company, but we're not affiliated with them. But the yellow, no matter which company, this is what we recommend. It just happens to match the Century 21 in this particular case.
And again, it's the words.
Yeah, so let's look at this, and we're going to show you how this works and how this little strategy will bring a major difference into your business. We can see here it says, seller will help pay for your mortgage for 2 years. Now, don't freak out, everybody. There's a trick to this, and we're going to show you what it is. And also, if you look here, you know, it's got the world's famous asterisk. You want to make sure that you do this. And in the print here, just in case you can't see it, it says for offer for qualified buyers only, and that's going to make sense here too. So we'll come back to this picture here so you can write this down. We tried probably like 5 different versions of these signs on this thing this program we're getting ready to show you. By far, this one pulled the best. So this is a great little sign. So let's before your seller freaks out, let's explain how they're going to help make the mortgage payment for the next 2 years. And I think, you know, just one last thing here, Tammy. I think we can all agree this would definitely bring attention to your listing, because all the others say, honey, stop the car,
price reduced.
Price reduced.
And who doesn't want help with their mortgage payment?
Yeah, you tell me if somebody said, I'll help you make your mortgage payment for the first 2 years. That's
You
gonna,
wouldn't be at least curious.
You'd be at least curious.
Yes.
And that's what you're looking for, is just curiosity, so that they stop just enough to make them think, I wonder what that is. So let's talk just real briefly about what this is, and then we're going to give you some very specific marketing strategies to use this. This is a really good thing here. Okay, this is a little calculator, and stick with me through this part. This is real important. I want you to understand how to do this. This is not something that you're going to need to do, but I just want to show you how it works. And then when we talk about the marketing strategies here, very specific marketing strategies, this is going to make a little bit more sense. What it is, and again, we're just going to grab a hypothetical situation here, and so a $200,000 house. Now, whether you're selling $400,000 houses or $80,000 houses, the ratios and the percentages are going to be the same.
Right.
So
this is a program that's kind of available to everybody, but we've redeveloped it and made it so that it's going to be something that's personal to you, that you'll offer your sellers, and they won't know to ask for it a different way or where else to get it. So it's going to be an exclusive program for you. We've named it the Easy Start Program.
That's right.
You can name it the Fast Start Program, the Quick Start Program, however you want to develop it.
Or just say the Tammy Team Program, whatever you want.
Right.
Right. After your company, of course, not us. So let's take our hypothetical $200,000 house, and again, down payment. This is by the way, just FYI, this is a Fannie Mae, VA, or FHA program. So this is not one of those. This is not some weird program or something. This is a government-secured, government-sponsored program on a 30-year fixed-rate loan. And you're going, well, wait a minute. We don't want to sit here and talk about loan products today. Just bear with me here. Just hang in here for about 5 minutes here, and this is all going to make sense. And
right.
You're going to have a real big aha moment here in just a second. So we take our typical $200,000 house, and again, down payment. Well, if it's VA, it would be 0 down. If it was FHA, it'd be 3.5% down, and Fannie Mae anywhere from 10% down on. Typically, we're going to be looking at the FHA version of this. Typically, most of the time, but again, it can be VA and Fannie Mae also. So let's take, and again, this is just some hypothetical numbers. So this isn't necessarily what the interest rates are, but it'll give you an idea of it. What this does is, how the seller helps make the payment is the seller makes a 2.5% contribution at closing. In other words, the seller is doing a 2.5% toward buyer's closing cost at closing. So there's no upfront fees or anything like that. When the seller makes that 2.5% contribution at closing, let me just clear everything off here so we have a fresh screen. So the seller makes a 2.5% contribution at closing. When the seller does that, what it does is, again, hypothetical situation, let's say 30-year fixed rates are running 5.5%, just say. When the seller makes this 2.5% contribution at closing, the buyer goes on a 30-year fixed loan that gives an easy start for the first 2 years. In other words, if it's 5.5% is the fixed rate loan, the first year they get a 2% discount in the interest rate down to 3.5%. The second year they get a 1% discount in the interest rate, and then year through 30 they get the already low 5.5% fixed rate loan. Now, a couple things here just real quick. This is not an adjustable mortgage.
Right. This is a true 30-year fixed mortgage, but you're getting a break for 2 years.
That's right. Or in our case, what we call this is they get an easy start for the first 2 years. And again, just to make clear, this is a government program, and this is not an interest only. This is not deferred interest like the option arms or anything like that. They get a true 3.5% rate for the first year, which they are paying down on the mortgage. So this is not one of those fancy-dancy hybrid mortgage that was going around that's got, some people in a little bit of a bind right now, this is a true 3.5%, 4.5%, and 5.5%. And again, these are just hypothetical numbers. The bottom line is 2% less the first year and a true 1% less the second year, and then year 3 through 30. And again, these are all locked in, prior to closing when we do our interest rate lock. So there's no surprises. It's not like, well, we're hoping it's 4.5 on year 2, and we're hoping it's at 5.5. This is all known prior to closing, so this is all locked in. Nothing's floating here.
Now I hear people saying, okay, now why would I have my seller do this? Why would I have them pay 2.5% out of their pocket at closing?
That is a great question. Prior to this program, the only thing the buyer knows to do to negotiate is attack the price. And frankly, just being brutally honest here and, kind of transparent, we're all real estate professionals, that's on this call today. Nobody particularly wants to beat this price down. I mean, truth be known.
Right, because everyone's job depends on what this price is. I mean, your commission, your loan officer's commission, everybody's commission is based on what this price ends up being.
And certainly the seller's not real happy to see this go down. If you're in a short sale situation, it could be the make or break of a deal. But that's the only thing the buyer knows to do to decrease his typical payment. Because his typical payment on a $200,000 house, give or take, and we just put 4% here, but it's whatever the program is, they're going to have a payment before taxes and insurance of $1,095. So if the buyer wants to have a lower payment, they only knew to decrease this.
Right. I'll offer you $180,000.
Exactly.
So you're going down $20,000 on the price of the home.
Exactly. And frankly, nobody wants that to happen, well, other than the buyer, but we're going to show you an alternative to it. So typically, when the buyer, for every $1,000 the seller comes down in price, the buyer is going to save somewhere around
a whopping $6.
A whopping $6 a month. Not that much of a difference. So what if there was a way that the buyer could save a significant amount in their monthly payment, which would be, in this case, and again, no matter what number you're using, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get almost a 21% decrease, or in this case, let's look at the real numbers. Normally when they buy this house, they would have a payment of $1,095, but on the first year here, it's going to be $866 now. So they get a decrease in their payment.
Almost $230 a month.
Yeah, $230 a month is a big savings.
That's huge.
Well, this decrease that we see right here is as if this $200,000 was decreased by $38,000.
That's a big amount.
That's a big amount. So the buyer gets a break as if the seller sold the house for $38,000. And on the second year, again, it's about half the savings. So it's as if the buyer came down somewhere around $19,000, just give or take. Now, a lot of people are going, and we're getting ready to go to the marketing part of this. We're going to show you, and I think you're going to like that. But again, some people are saying, well, yeah, but Carl, if the seller was to come down in the price, let's just say, like in this case, if the seller has to make a contribution, and it depends upon which program we actually run them through, between 2% to 3% is what we need in the seller contribution. So I just put 2.5% because that kind of splits the difference. But give or take, and again, just to round numbers, give or take, it's about $4,000, give or take, on a $200,000. By the way, that percentage, the 2.5% they pay, is based upon the loan amount, not the purchase price. But give or take $4,000 in this case, just give or take. So if the seller came down $4,000 and the buyer saves roughly $6 per thousand, that means that if the seller came down $4,000, the buyer would save, give or take, around $22 a month. Certainly that's not bad, but no lifestyle changes are going to happen here. It's not that big of a difference. Well, if you look at this, you go, well, wait a minute, Carl, I can see that this way they decrease their payment by $229. It would take 10 months of this $22 to equal 1 month of this. So in other words, in the first month using this, you've saved what would take 10 months the old-fashioned way. Well, people go, well, yeah, but it only helps for the first 2 years. What about year, 27 through 30? Look, if the seller came down that $4,000 and your buyer is saving $22 a month, it would take 15 years of the $22
to equal that $4,200 almost.
that they would save in 2 years. So it takes 15 years to save what they would save in 2 years here. And let's be honest, the average person, we just checked the stats, I think it's 7.3 years is the average person's in their house. The average person isn't going to be there for 15 years. And frankly, what is $22 going to be 15 years from now?
Not a whole lot.
Probably, one would think not a whole bunch. Can you see where the seller made a small contribution of 2.5%? The buyer gets the result of a huge difference, as if it's $38,000. Takes 15 years to catch up if they did it the old-fashioned way. Can you see how everybody's a win-win here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so now the buyer, how we say it, for 2 years has a break in their payment, which frankly is going to have quite a few benefits, one of which would be easing a payment shock. Now, they still have to qualify at the full rate, so this will not help somebody qualify for more house, but it'll help them ease into those payments a little bit and help them like furniture, and things like that. And we're going to show you some of that in some of the marketing things. So, and you go, well, wait a minute, how do I get my seller to agree to this? Look, all you have to do is ask the seller, would you take a 97.5% offer today? In other words, on a $200,000 house, Mr. Seller, so we know where we're standing at here, if we had a 195 offer, would you take it? We have never had a seller say no.
Right.
If your seller says no, I wouldn't take a 97.5% offer, frankly, you need to get out the newspaper and show it to them and have them smell the coffee.
Yeah, or
right?
take him to houses in the neighborhood that he's in and show him those houses as well and what they're selling for.
Exactly. And by the way, we've also used this on REO homes. So if you've got a short sale situation or something like that, we've seen this work extremely well with those also. Because again, all it is the seller is helping to pay 2.5% toward the closing cost.
So typically, if you're using a short sale or an REO, as you were saying, that 2.5% is going to be paid by the lender.
Right, on the contract.
Right.
And again, we haven't had a lender say no to this because, again, typically what's happening is the buyers are coming in at this number low, trying to lower this payment, and so they're lowballing by $38,000 to get to this payment that in this case, it only costs, $4,100 to do. So it actually helps on the short sales because you don't get these lowball offers. You see how this helps everybody?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's do just a real quick review here. And this a little bit about the loyalty. For you, when you're acting as a buyer's agent, or if you're a buyer's agent, some people might say, well, Carl, I have some buyers that I think this would help them get them off the fence, right? How do I know what houses to show them where the seller will take this? Again, we have not found any seller that would not take a 97.5% offer. So what we want you to learn to say as a buyer's agent is, this is available on homes that I show you, which is you, of course, not me, that's you. Which is true, Tammy, because it is available on homes that the people on the call today show them. It's also available to any other real estate agent.
But they're not going to know about this program.
They're not going to know about this program. So this is a way to get loyalty. In other words, if you capture a buyer and you start showing them houses and then you find out they got an Aunt Jenny that's a real estate agent also, this keeps loyalty because that buyer would call Aunt Jenny. Aunt Jenny, can you tell us about the Easy Start program? Well, Aunt Jenny doesn't know about this. So this sets you apart. Not only as, it doesn't just set your listing apart so it gets more phone calls, it sets you apart as a buyer's agent also. Because you could run ads to say, on houses that I show, I can get the seller to help make your mortgage payment for the next 2 years. Because the seller does help you make your mortgage payment by the next 2 years by making that 2.5% contribution at closing, right?
What a great marketing piece.
This is a great marketing piece.
Have you ever heard of a true win-win situation, Carl?
This isn't win-win. This is win.
Win.
Win, yeah. Everybody wins. The buyer gets a break for 2 years. The seller gets a 97.5% offer. In today's market, that's very good.
That's huge, yes.
Yeah. The real estate agents sell the home, they get to sell a home for a 97.5% offer, which is good. And frankly, the neighborhood appraisals aren't beaten up because, like, if you have one house to go down $38,000, it kind of hurts the neighborhood for selling other houses in there. Let's break that down just a little bit more here.
So let's go over the buyers again, just a little bit more. For that buyer who is going to make this 97.5% offer on it, he's going to be saving 20% in his payments for the first year. That's huge.
Which is huge, and with a very modest contribution of 2.5% from the seller.
Right.
Big deal. Again, it's as if the seller came down $38,000 for the first year. Instead of saving $22 a month with that $4,000 that's required on the 2.5%, they're saving $229. So in 1 month on this program, they saved as much as coming down in the price. It would take 10 months to save. Big deal. It takes 15 years of the $22, again, if the seller was to come down that much, to equal the savings seen in 2 years. And again, eases payment shock.
And for those who don't want to really ease their payments, they can do this program anyways and take that $229 a month and just make the normal payment that they would make and put equity into the house.
That's a great idea, Tammy, because 100% of that $229 would now be going to
Principal,
which
not interest.
That's a very good point, which would pay off the house even faster. That's a very interesting point. Great point. All right, the seller wins. That's a great point. I like that. We're going to put another slide in here.
I know.
Another point for the seller, we want to keep the seller happy, right? Small contribution makes a big difference. They get a 97.5% offer in today's market. That's a big wow. Now they have more money to go buy the next house, right? So they're happy with you, or the money to move. It's a faster sell for the seller because of the look at me marketing that we're getting ready to show you. So the seller wins.
And they're going to just love you for this because instead of having to reduce their house and essentially pay $38,000, they're only having to pay $4,000 now.
No doubt. And they sell their house.
Yes.
Which today
is huge.
You guys win because you get more listings because of creative marketing, right? How do you get more listings? You're talking to more people. How do you talk to more people? More people are calling on your ads because you do these clever little seller will help make your mortgage payment for the next 2 years. Homes sell faster because they get more attention, and it's easier to start. So if somebody's if somebody's tossed between two houses, this house doesn't offer the seller for 2 years. Your listing does offer. Well, you tell me, which one do you think you would buy if you're tossed between two houses? You get more buyer leads from your listings because of the increased advertising exposure. We're going to show you quick little Craigslist ads, and your Craigslist ads will get a lot more attention. This beats the heck out of just check out my open house.
Right.
I've got some, a rude awakening to some people. When you said...
if you saw an ad that said, hey, seller will help you make your payment on this house, don't you think someone's going to look at that?
Absolutely. More so than open house on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Don't put everybody to sleep. The other thing, 97.5% offer means higher commissions because you didn't have to come down to the price. And frankly, your seller's happier, so they're happy to pay your commission. Also, 97.5% offers, guys, that means more referrals because you got a happy seller here.
Oh, they're going to be telling their friends and their friends, hey, my house sold really quickly and I got a great offer on it.
That's exactly right. And then the other thing for the agents is it keeps loyal clients because, again, this is available on homes that I show you or my team shows you. And it is. It is available on homes that you show them.
So what are they going to do, Carl, if the house is not their listing, but they still want to offer this to their buyer?
All you got to do is go to any listing off MLS, call the listing agent or the seller, or whatever the case may be. I mean, you could also do this on for sale by owners, as a way to capture for sale by owners and get commission on those. All you got to do is ask the seller, Mr. Seller, would you take a 97.5% offer today? So before going to the seller about, hey, would you help make the mortgage payment for the next 2 years, right? They go, well, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? It gets them all excited in a bad way, but the point of that being that phrase brings attention. Because you mentioned that to your seller, I guarantee it'll get his attention. So the best way to introduce him to it is, would you take a 97.5% offer if it came in today? They're going to say yes.
And another winner in this is the loan officer.
Yeah, would be here at the mortgage company, because that's what we are here, is we're a mortgage company. and Tammy and I are in the marketing department for the loan officer that sponsors this. The loan officer wins too, just quite frankly, because the seller's happy, the buyer's happy. Most important to us, you're happy. And when you're happy, we understand that we get more referrals. So, just being brutally honest and transparent, this works for us also. Now, just real briefly, on classified ads, again, you would just simply put an ad that would say something like, seller will help make your mortgage payment for the next 2 years. Call us and we'll give you information about that.
And when we talk about classified ads, we're talking about your newspaper ads, your home buying magazine ads, any of the ads that you're running around town that are in print of some kind.
Frankly, the tube flyer sitting outside the house, seller will help make mortgage payment for the first 2 years.
Plus, you're going to have that sign writer on there as well.
If you choose to have the sign, which we highly recommend. Again,
absolutely.
We're not in the sign writer business, so you get that wherever you want. We're happy to make a recommendation of where to buy it, but you can get those virtually anywhere. I think they cost anywhere from, I've seen them as low as $2. I've seen them as high as $15. Usually somewhere around $6, $7, $8, something like that. The other thing, same thing with a Craigslist ad, and we're going to show you one of those in just a second. And of course, again, the sign writers has been very effective also. Let's take a quick look at the Craigslist ad. And we've got many of these, but this is just a couple examples just to give you the idea of how this worked. Like, the call capture, right? You remember call capture. That's where, somebody calls a recording and through caller ID we can capture their phone number. So this works real good for that. And you can do new bailout program. Well, it is a new bailout program.
It's yours.
It's your new bailout program. You're allowed to have a bailout program, right? You didn't say federal. Even though, again, this is a government loan. So this is, regular FHA, VA, just with the easy start feature. So new bailout program, forces seller. Okay, well, it kind of does force the seller. I wouldn't use this word to the seller, by the way, but it does force the seller because it's going to be on the real estate contract, right? You write it up as on the contract, seller to contribute 2.5% of loan amount toward buyer's closing costs for easy start program. So once a seller signs it, he's under contract. So, you can say this word. It is forced. And I tell you right now, that word is definitely going to grab the attention of buyers to help you with your mortgage payment for full 2 years. And again, that is true because when the seller makes that 2.5%, the interest rate is reduced 2% the first year, 1% the second year. So all this is true. So this generates a lot of phone calls. Another thing you can do is have Craigslist ads. And when they click on the button, it goes to an opt-in page, or we call it a squeeze page, where it's squeezed.
Landing page, squeeze page, opt-in page. It's all the same thing, and it's going to be asking them for information. Please put your name in here, your email address, and I'll send you a insider or secret report
on how this works. And we have the secret report to give to you guys. That's part of the things that we give you. Again, there's nothing for you to buy here. We're going to give you the free report to hand out to these people. So very, very, very clever program. And again, nothing beats a good old-fashioned phone call. Again, on the Craigslist ad, you can put right here, call, and that would be your phone number right there, and to get the free insider report. And it's and a buddy of ours is running this ad in Florida. So you see Florida bailout program, but it could be right here in our state. So you can have this. You can have any state that you want to. Can have this right here. And I love this right here, Tammy. Don't get left out. Nobody wants to get left out, So call now. So these are just some ideas for you to do. But these have been pulling for us extremely well. And again, we have the free report to give you. Okay, here's the bottom line. What we want you to do is we want you to contact us now. Again, we're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to give something to you here. The reason we want you to do that is we want you to have more listings because of creative marketing that we're going to help you with, right? We want you to, have homes that sell faster. We want you to have more buyer leads from your listings, okay? We want your Craigslist ads to get more attention. We're going to help you with that. We want you to get higher commissions, right? You want that. We want that for you. You want more referrals because your offers are coming in higher than most everybody else. Right? We want you to have that too, and we want to keep the clients that you're working with. We want to make sure that they're loyal to you, right? We want to make sure they're loyal, and of course, you want those things. We know that you want those things too. Now, the other thing when you contact us and you look right here beneath this screen, there's our contact information. Just you can give us a buzz. Is number one, you say, well, why would I contact you guys? Number one, so you can have all those benefits we just showed you, and number two, this way you can have the free reports, so that when people call you about this program, you've got something to give them, and frankly, you can kind of use it for a study manual. Number two, you're going to have us. You're going to have somebody that knows the program, right? That's what you want. You want somebody that knows the program, because then you can have somebody that knows how to talk to the seller, right? We can help you talk with the seller, right? We'll be happy to talk to the seller directly and tell them how it's in their benefit to do this with you, and how they have really been fortunate to have a real estate agent like you that is working out of the box to help the seller out, right? We know how this works. When we talk to the seller, we make sure the seller knows that the program that you found for them is killer and very unique, and how smart they are to be working with a real estate agent that offers this. You're also going to have somebody that knows how to talk to the buyer. Look, guys, let's be real serious here. The conversation that's made to the seller and to the buyer on this program is critical, and it's critical that you have a seasoned pro, somebody that knows the program like the back of their hand, somebody that has the presentation down pat. That's the kind of person you want talking to your seller and your buyer. You don't want somebody that's trying to figure this out. Look, we're not figuring out anything. We know this like the back of the hand, and we're going to make it show that you know this program too. And so we know how to talk to these people so that you get more deals going to the title company, okay? And also, we're going to give you our Craigslist ads for you to post. So instead of trying to figure out Craigslist ads that work, we've already got some proven ones we're going to give to you. So we want you to give us a call. There's our contact information right here under this screen. If you look down, you might have to scroll down, some of you. Scroll down just a little bit. Should be right under the screen here, right down there. And give us a call. Give us a call. We got two groups of people on the call today, right? Two groups. We have group one, who is going to pay nothing, right? Going to pay nothing and go home with a complete system, right? Those that call us, they're going to go home with a complete system, a turnkey way to bring in new business, to close those deals of the people that's working on the fence. Well, the other group, they're also paying nothing, but they're going home with nothing. Why would you want to be in this group? Pay nothing, go home with nothing. Or would you rather be in group one, pay nothing, and go home with a complete system, right? This is a no-brainer, guys. Especially a marketing strategy. What's the total cost that this cost you? You got it. Nothing. It doesn't cost anything. This is the best marketing plan of all, and you're doing it in conjunction with somebody that knows it like the back of their hand, somebody that can help you get back to the closing table, somebody that can help you get more buyers and sellers, somebody that can help you sell your homes faster, right? More listings, higher commissions, more referrals, loyal clients, paying zero, right? Can you see how this is going to benefit you? This is a no-brainer, guys. You see our phone number. Give us a call. Obviously, we can't work with everybody. We're only looking to work with those that are serious about building their business and have the mindset to know that paying nothing and getting something, and it's not just something, it's something great that cost $0. A no-brainer. So give us a call, contact us in our office, first come, first serve basis, and look forward to working with the implementers. For those that understand that it is a great time while everybody else is kind of relaxing and sitting back and, quote, waiting for the market to change. Guys, if you haven't noticed it, the market has changed. It already changed. If you're waiting for it to change back, I got some bad news for you. Today is a professionals market. You have to be doing professional things. Old strategies, old marketing things, they don't work anymore. You have to be having new strategies in place, and this is a great one, especially when it costs you $0. We look forward to helping the few. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. It was mine and Tammy's pleasure to be on this call today, and it's great to be working here in the marketing department of a great company with a great loan officer that's going to help you with this and knows this program like the back of their hand. So thanks again. We're going over to the phones to take the incoming calls, and we'll see you there. Call right now.